Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you're doing absolutely fine. 2021 has been a year for resolutions. मुझे ऐसा लग रहा था कि maybe pandemic के बाद लोग थम जाएंगे. They will be a bit skeptical about whether we should go ahead, whether we should invest or not. But lately, we have observed that Sensex is moving up, market is coming back, and people are coming out of their houses. And abhi, the entrepreneurship journey is going to the next level. We are receiving multiple requests, and hence on 26th of January, on this Republic Day, we thought, why not bring to our audience something which is of much interest to them. Instead of taking the full package, why not offer them services where if someone doesn't want the entire package, doesn't want us to set their entire business, and has some specific query about how they can make changes to their strategy, or how they can make changes to their marketing plan, they can actually increase their sales figures. So we organize these 1.5 hour sessions program. So it can be accessed on our website. The link is in the description. Please visit and look forward to business consultancy services, which we are charging for 1.5 hours. We are charging 500 rupees, which is pretty economical for any large, small, or medium business, because we want that whatever business you are working in, the intention is to help you get maximum benefits out of it. So please check that out. Now coming back to the topic, हमें बहुत सारे रिक्वेस्ट आए, बट उनमें से ऐसे बहुत सारे रिक्वेस्ट हमें इन चीज़ों का मिला कि वी वांट टू अर्न अ फ्रेंचाइजी, राइट? एंड आज का जो टॉपिक होने वाला है, इट इज टोटली ऑन फूड फ्रेंचाइजी बिजनेस. आप देखते होंगे अपने शहरों में मैकडॉनल्ड्स, सीसीडी, राइट, बर्गर किंग. आपको क्या लगता है, क्या कंपनी आती है? नहीं. There are local people who are owning these franchisees, and they set up their shops over here. It's the company which helps them set these up, starting from equipments to furniture to the overall staffing to the training of the staff, because even the company wants that the quality, the standard that they have set must be maintained across whichever branch. And that is the reason why these companies, actually these brands, these survive, because they really focus on their training. So before starting this video, it's a kind request, please subscribe to the channel, because it gives us a lot of motivation. Hit that bell icon, because next time I post any video, you'll directly get notified of it. As I always say, let's get started. वेलकम बैक गाइस. सो आज का जो इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक है, इसे हम 5 सिंपल पार्ट्स में डिवाइड करेंगे, एंड वील ट्राई टू एक्सप्लेन यू हाउ एग्जैक्टली यू कैन डू इट स्टेप बाय स्टेप. नाउ द नंबर 1 part that we are going to discuss today is to understand कि आप कौन सा बिजनेस टाइप में अपना बिजनेस करना चाहेंगे. The second thing we would like to understand is what is the business group that you want to operate in. थर्ड इज द कोटेशन, कि उस बिजनेस ग्रुप में लेट्स से आपने आइडेंटिफाई किया किसी ब्रांड को, तो आप उसका कोटेशन कैसे ऑब्टेन करेंगे, एंड व्हाट इज द बेस्ट वे हाउ यू कैन डू दैट. Number fourth, we'll try to understand 10 key things which you need to take care of when you're actually dealing or discussing with the brand. Because ये बहुत ज़रूरी है, because आप नहीं चाहते हो कि आप किसी ऐसे बिजनेस में इन्वेस्ट करो जहाँ पे आपका मनी ब्लॉक हो जाए, एंड देन जस्ट टू रिकवर योर इन्वेस्टमेंट इट माइट टेक यू अ लॉन्ग टाइम, और मे बी वो रिकवर कभी हो ही ना. It should not be a loss for you, right? So that is the fourth thing that we are going to discuss. And fifth thing is totally on the legalities front, where we are going to discuss about how you're going to formalize everything. I mean, the kind of contract, the kind of things that you need to look into, and the kind of documentation that you need to ensure before actually starting your business journey. Okay? As I said, business type. अब फूड बिजनेस में हो या कोई और बिजनेस हो, उसमें देर आर टू टाइप्स आइडियली. एक होता है बिजनेस टू बिजनेस, दूसरा होता है बिजनेस टू कस्टमर, B2B एंड B2C. ओके. B2B क्या होता है कि लेट्स से आप एक होलसेलर हैं, ठीक है, आप डायरेक्टली कस्टमर्स को नहीं बेचते. आप क्या करते हो, जो रिटेलर्स होते हैं आपके एरियाज में, आप उनको सप्लाई करते हो. सो इट कैन बी एनीथिंग, इट कैन बी अ स्ट्रीट फूड, इट कैन बी एनीथिंग एंड एवरीथिंग, ठीक है. सो अब फूड में भी बहुत सारे रिटेलर्स एंड होलसेलर्स होते हैं, राइट. रिटेलर्स एज इन आप नॉर्मल ग्रोसरी शॉप्स देख लो. लेट्स से वहाँ पे ब्रेड इज एन आइटम विच इज अवेलेबल ओवर देयर. अब ब्रेड का प्रोडक्शन उस ग्रोसरी स्टोर में तो नहीं हो रहा है, ब्रेड का प्रोडक्शन होता है फैक्ट्री में. दैट फैक्ट्री इज ओन्ड बाय अ होलसेलर, राइट. ही इज बेसिकली, ही हैज टेकन अ फ्रेंचाइजी ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर, लेट्स से ब्रिटानिया ब्रेड. सो ब्रिटानिया ब्रेड की फ्रेंचाइजी एक किसी बंदे ने लिया होगा, and he is the one who is basically manufacturing the bread in his factory and he's supplying to the retailers. That's how it operates. Okay, so that is basically B2B. So आपको पहला चीज जो आइडेंटिफाई करना है कि आप क्या करना चाहते हो, वेदर यू वांट टू बी एट द फ्रंट एंड एंड डायरेक्टली सेल इट टू द कंज्यूमर्स, या फिर आप एक मार्केट को टारगेट कर रहे हो जहाँ पे आप ये टारगेट कर रहे हो कि इस एरिया में आई हैव लेट्स से 50 रिटेलर्स एंड आई वांट कि उन सारे 50 रिटेलर्स को अगर कोई प्रोडक्ट जा रहा है तो वो मेरे से जाए, दे शुड बाय फ्रॉम मी, राइट? सो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन हाउ यू वांट टू टारगेट. सो आप B2B में जाना चाहते हो या B2C में, दैट इज द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन यू नीड टू आस्क योरसेल्फ एंड अकॉर्डिंगली आइडेंटिफाई द business type. That we have identified the business type, the next thing we need to identify is the business group. अब देखिए बिजनेस ग्रुप में बहुत सारे बिजनेस ग्रुप्स अभी नए क्रिएट हो रहे हैं एंड इनफैक्ट यू नो लाइक बहुत सारी चीजें जैसे एडवांस हो रही हैं. 10 साल पहले अगर आप सोचोगे तो स्ट्रीट फूड का डेफिनेशन वाज रियली डिफरेंट. अभी आप देखोगे तो स्ट्रीट फूड में कितनी सारी चीजें आ गई हैं, कितनी वैरायटी की चीजें आ गई हैं एंड इनोवेटिव चीजें आ गई हैं. तो overall the definition of food and the way food was perceived few years back has totally changed, and that's the reason we are saying that ये जो food groups होते हैं या फिर business groups होते हैं ये evolve हो रहे हैं as we speak, right? And there are some categories, some groups that I would like to discuss today. The first one being fast food business. ये एक बहुत trending business है क्योंकि the youth of the country, right, they are mostly into it, they love it. In fact, people of our older generation, there are many who actually appreciate it, like in mostly the youth of the country, the youngsters, they really appreciate it, and they are the ones who actually contribute to the lot of revenue of these kind of businesses. The next are multi-cuisine restaurants. Multi-cuisine restaurants का business बहुत ज़्यादा चलता है in metros, in any city. In fact, कहीं पे भी आप एक multi-cuisine restaurant देखते हो तो let's say on a highway or within a city, basically people do try it out, and that's how their business increases. The third thing is a bakery business, right? Bakery business, as I said, it can be B2B, it can be B2C. You can have a store, right, and you can produce as well and you can sell it. वो आप कर सकते हो. अब आप किसी ब्रांड की फ्रेंचाइजी लेके you can do that, or else if in case you just want to operate as a wholesaler and you don't want to operate as a reseller, retailer, then in that case definitely आप वो चीज भी कर सकते हैं. You can be a local supplier to the retailers. Number fourth are dining restaurants. Dining restaurants which are specifically for dining. एंड ये ऐसे एक सेगमेंट है जहाँ पे बहुत लोग एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं थोड़ा प्रीमियमनेस, बिकॉज बहुत सारे ऐसे एक्सक्लूसिव डाइनिंग रेस्टोरेंट्स होते हैं विच ओपन एट 6 PM एंड दे मे बी रन टिल 3 AM. तो वहाँ पे बहुत सारी चीज़ें यू नीड टू टेक केयर ऑफ, थोड़ा प्रीमियमनेस, थोड़ा सा क्यूजीन की क्वालिटी, ये सारी चीज़ें हमें देखनी पड़ती हैं. Number fifth are breakfast eateries. ये बहुत famous हो गया है now that in cities there are people from other cities who are coming in and for work, and these breakfast eateries are pretty famous क्योंकि लोग जाते हैं. अब everybody cannot cook at home, so they go have their breakfast and head out to their office, and that's how these breakfast eateries are nowadays pretty famous, and इनका business भी काफी अच्छा चल रहा है. The last which I'll talk is the beverage outlet. बहुत सारे lassi shops and specific to juice bars. All these things are now getting set up. That if you have any queries, please log on to our website, check out our business consultancy services, check out our business consultancy plans, because these are the best plans you might see, and the prices that we offer are one of the best in the market. Next point is quotation. Now, quotation is a very tricky thing because you cannot generalize it. These are not quotations which you are taking for a small commodity. You are taking for owning a franchisee. So when you talk of quotation, you need to understand that there are certain websites. I'll maybe put the links in the description, or maybe on the screen you can see the websites which I personally prefer, because these are websites who have some real time data. There are other websites as well, but I find these are something where there are a lot of franchisee businesses or the brands who actually continuously put their quotations over here. So do check these out. But yes, I will again tell you, irrespective of whatever the quotations are on the websites, please contact the person, using the contact details, and check with them what kind of franchisee they are ready to offer you, and whether it's okay as per your budget, as per your area. And yes, having said that, you should also understand that when you select all these items, whether it be the business type or the business group, or when you are discussing the quotation, make sure that you keep your area or your vicinity where you want to operate in mind, because you need to understand that whatever business you start is your intention is to sell that particular item or sell your business in your area, and you should know how the demand lies. So have a fair idea of how it works. Now, the first point that we are going to discuss over here is the format of the franchisee along with the contract details. Format of the franchisee, there are small of the same brand. I mean, you will see within a city, there will be a small store, a medium sized store, and a big store. So there are different formats. It can be like bed and breakfast, it can be a complete dining in. So the same brand offers multiple business formats. So you can check the format of the franchisee along with the contract details. Make sure that you understand what the contract details says. Next thing is the space requirement. Now, when it comes to space requirement, it totally depends on the machines or the equipments that the company is going to set up. So whenever you check a quotation, you'll always see a space requirement mentioned over here, and make sure that you abide by those regulations, whatever by the guidelines which the brand speaks of, and make sure that your lease area, whichever shop you actually take lease of, so that area should be within the range what the brand expects you to have. The next thing is the investment. That is something you need to talk really in detail. What are the equipments that need to be set up? What are the raw materials that you need to have? Because you also need to ensure that whatever the raw materials that are required must be in abundant supply. If in case they are not available within your city, how are you going to procure them from outside? So that is something you need to understand, right? Next is the furniture. Let's say it's not a takeaway and you want to have seating and people are going to come, then definitely you want to have set up some furnitures inside. So how many furnitures, and how much is it going to cost? So because there are many brands who have their own furniture as well, um, with their brands on them, so brand logo on them. So make sure that you have all these discussions while doing these negotiations. The next point, that is the fourth point, is the royalty or commission. This is very important because usually brands take from 5 to 10% is the range in which most of the brands take. If it's a really big brand, then they might go for a higher percentage. But yes, that is the ideal range. So make sure that you have a clear cut discussion of what is going to be the royalty or commission that you're going to pay to them every month. So just be clear about that. Fifth point is going to be the profit margin. So profit margin cannot be actually obtained at first. So for that you need to have a pricing division of what are the raw materials that you're going to use and what is the pricing at which you're going to sell, so that you will have a fair idea from the brand itself. They will themselves give you a quotation of how much, using their historical data, of how much does it cost to make, let's say, a burger, and how much do they sell it for, and accordingly you can calculate what is your profit margin on that one burger, and based on that you can calculate on one day how many burgers are you going to sell and how many fries you are going to sell, and accordingly you can calculate what is going to be your profit margin, right? So make sure that you have that calculation in mind as well while discussing. Number six point is going to be the brand fee. Now, this is a one time fee, which usually is not given on a monthly basis. It's given, as I said, it's a monthly, is a one time fee. So it's per contract basis. So make sure that you know what is the brand fee, which the brand is going to take from you for actually using their brand name. So this is the brand fee that they're going to charge you, and please make sure that you have it in your quotation. The next thing is going to be the staff requirement, which is very important. I will cover this point and the next point together. So the next point is staff training. Okay, so brands, when they actually give someone their franchisee, they the first thing and the most important thing they want to understand from you is whether you will be able to maintain the quality or not, because you might have seen many franchisees where the food quality might be bad, but that doesn't mean the brand is bad, right? So many a times what happens is maybe the person doesn't know how to cook it properly, or maybe he doesn't cook it properly. So in food business, this is taken into consideration very seriously, and you must make sure that you have the proper staff, and their training is proper. That is something you need to really focus on if you want to actually survive in that market. Okay. The next point is the pre-launch and marketing support. Many brands who actually offer their franchisee, they offer a pre-launch and marketing support as well. Not everyone, so just be aware of whether the brand is going to provide you that support or not. If they are going to provide you, just make sure that you understand how is that marketing going to impact you within your city, whether it's really impactful or not. Because many a times what happens is they have their own set standards, and they try to impose it because they don't understand your city the way you do, and that's the reason you need to understand that that is completely your take, and you need to give your consent before they go ahead and launch any kind of campaigns. The 10th and the last point, which ideally is a very important point, and it helps you to flourish, is a periodical review support for food quality, or let's say the portion or the cost control. This is very much required, and at least from the brand side, you should expect the brand to do that, because if they do that, you can very well ensure that your profit margins are coming properly and your sales are increasing. So this will definitely help you. Now that we have talked about all these four critical areas that I was talking earlier, and in the fourth point we talked about 10 critical things that you need to take care of. The next thing and the most crucial thing now is to formalize everything that we discussed. Okay, so first thing that we are going to do is finalize the location and get the lease agreement ready. That is very much required. You should have a lease agreement ready, and make sure that whatever your lease agreement is, you should your contract duration should be kind of similar to that, because you don't want any hassle in the middle. So if the contract is for 5 years, make sure your lease agreement is also set for 5 years at least. But I know not many actually give lease for a period of 5 years. Usually it's 2 years, and you then renew that. So make sure that you have a word with whoever the person is, and whenever the lease renewal approaches, make sure that you have multiple options in mind in case you have to shift your location from one place to the other. Number two, and the most important thing, is money, right? अब जो nearest bank है, आपको वहाँ जाना है, and you need to ensure that you have a good relationship with the manager, and in fact the clerical staff. You should, I mean, they are the ones who are going to stay for long, because the managers usually they get transferred. So make sure that your term loan, you should take a term loan for your capital investments, like purchasing of machinery, purchasing of initial investments, whatever you do, let's say the furniture, whatever you're doing, for all those things you need a term loan. So do it from there. At the same time, you should also have an OCC/OD account, which is an open cash credit or an overdraft account. Now these accounts are basically used for working capital expenses and help you manage your day-to-day inventory. So from your procurement to the final sales. So you need to ensure that you are doing that. Okay, so you should have an open cash credit account as well. Now, the fourth and the most important thing is the franchisee contract. As I said, now everything after you have looked at everything, you should have your franchisee contract ready with the contract term. As I said, that is the first thing, and then the renewal availability. That is also one of the things you should keep a track on, because there are many businesses who do not offer a renewal availability option. So just be mindful of that and read the entire contract before finally signing it off with the brand. Okay. Now, after actually executing these 5 steps, you will understand that now you are a full proof from all the sides. You have the money to do the business, you have the account to draw, you have the limit to actually get the funds for your working capital expenses, you have the machinery, you have the store, you have the place, you have everything, and you have also done the marketing to attract your customers. Now, the next thing is to earn money. So please follow these 5 steps. Make sure that you do it step by step so that's easy for you to follow. In case you have any queries, and in case if you really want that our experts should go to you or maybe approach you for helping you out in setting up your business, please visit our website. Please visit our business consultancy services, which is going to start from 26th of January, and let us know if you have any, in that case, any problem in setting up your business. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.